The house that remembered me. I did not believe houses could remember people. Not until I returned to house number 27, standing at the edge of a forgotten village where even birds refused to land. The village was called Grey Hollow, though no signboard ever carried its name. It existed only in memories, bad ones. The kind people buried deep and prayed would never dig their way back to the surface. Yet here I was. The road ended abruptly, swallowed by weeds and fog. My car refused to go further, the engine dying as if something had reached inside and squeezed its heart. I stepped out, the air immediately feeling wrong, thick, stale, heavy with something unseen. The house stood alone. 3 floors, cracked windows like blind eyes. Walls stained dark, as if the house had bled and never healed. The front door was open. It was waiting. I hadn't planned to come back. I had sworn I wouldn't. But some promises rot with time, and grief has a way of dragging you by the throat. My sister Eliza disappeared here 15 years ago. No body, no answers, just screams heard by neighbors who pretended they never heard anything at all. I crossed the threshold. The door slammed shut behind me. Not violently, calmly, like a decision already made. The silence inside. The air inside smelled of damp wood and something metallic. Blood, maybe, or memory. The hallway stretched longer than it should have, the walls narrowing as I walked. Every footstep echoed twice, once beneath me and once behind me. I did not turn around. Paint peeled off the walls in long strips, hanging like dead skin. Old photographs lined the corridor, family portraits, weddings, birthdays. None of the faces had eyes. They were scratched out. At the end of the hallway stood a mirror. I stopped. My reflection stared back at me, pale, older than I remembered. Dark circles under my eyes. Fear carved deep into my face. Then the reflection smiled. I did not. The reflection raised its hand and pressed it against the glass from the other side. I stumbled back. The mirror cracked down the center, splitting my face in two. A whisper crawled out of the broken glass. You left her. I ran. The living rooms that breathed. The living room was massive, far larger than the house should allow. Furniture lay covered in white sheets that rose and fell slowly. Breathing. I backed away, heart pounding. One sheet slid off a couch. Beneath it lay a human shape, eyes stitched shut, mouth sewn into a permanent scream. Its chest rose once more, then collapsed inward like a punctured lung. The sheets fell still. The fireplace ignited by itself. Flames licked upward, forming shapes, faces, twisting and melting. I saw Eliza's face among them, her mouth open, burning without being consumed. Why didn't you come back? She screamed. I dropped to my knees. I was a child, I whispered. I was scared. The fire went out. The room grew colder. A hand touched my shoulder. I screamed and spun around. No one was there, but handprints appeared on my skin, dark bruises blooming like rotten flowers. The stairs that led down. The staircase creaked as I climbed. Each step whispered my name in different voices, young, old, male, female. Some begged, some accused, some laughed. Halfway up, the stairs changed direction. Downward. I knew I hadn't turned. But now I was descending into darkness. The walls closed in. The air grew warmer, damp like breath against my neck. At the bottom was a door. It was small, child-sized. Scratches covered it from the inside. I pushed it open. The basement of confessions. The basement smelled of rot and rust. Chains hung from the ceiling. Hooks. Old tools coated in dried black stains. In the center sat a chair. And tied to it, me, or something wearing my face. It lifted its head slowly. Its eyes were hollow, pits crawling with insects. You remember now, it said in my voice. Memories slammed into me. Eliza crying. Me running. The door locking behind her. Her screams echoing as I stood outside the house, frozen. I had not been taken. She had. Because I was afraid. The thing in the chair smiled. The house feeds on guilt, it said. And yours is endless. The chains rattled. The walls pulsed. The house was alive. The truth of Grey Hollow. The house was not haunted. It was hungry. It lured those with regret, grief, and unfinished sins. It did not kill them immediately. It made them relive everything they tried to forget. Until they broke. Then it kept them, not as ghosts, as memories. I heard voices everywhere now, dozens, hundreds, crying, screaming, whispering apologies that never reached forgiveness. Eliza's voice rose above them all. Stay, she said softly. I felt the floor pulling me down, like mud. The walls pressed inward. The house wanted me. The final room. I ran. Up the stairs. Through hallways that shifted and bent. Past doors that opened into impossible spaces, rooms filled with teeth, rooms where people stood frozen mid-scream, rooms where time itself dripped from the ceiling. At last, I reached the attic. Sunlight streamed through a single window. Hope. In the center of the attic stood Eliza. She looked exactly as she had the day she vanished. Alive. Unhurt. She smiled. I stepped toward her. She did not move. Her smile widened too far. Her skin split open like paper. Inside her body were walls. Inside those walls, faces. all watching me. The house had been wearing her. You can leave, the thing said in her voice. But only if you take her place. The floor opened beneath me. What remains? They say the house still stands. They say sometimes, travelers hear a man crying from inside, begging someone named Eliza for forgiveness. They say if you look closely through the attic window, you'll see a figure staring back. He never blinks. He remembers everything, and the house remembers him. Because once it knows you, it never lets you be forgotten.